So I am actually going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see. Mhm. Okay. Present. Awesome. So can everyone see this screen? Okay. Okay, great. So thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I'm really happy to see all of your beautiful faces here. So pretty much what this meeting is going to be is a very basic general overview of the Women in Business organization on campus. We're just going to let you know a little bit about who we are as a club, some fun activities, and things of that nature. Awesome. So, talking about just general logistics, typically our Women in Business Club meets every other Tuesday at 8 p.m., which is going to be in all of our meetings in Eastern Standard Time, so Boston time zone, and they're all going to be held via Zoom. And we also have some special events outside of our normal meeting times, whether it be special speakers, other special events that are held through different times, so never our 8 p.m. slot. And we do that because we want to make sure that if you can't meet those meeting times, you may be able to get in to see some executive speakers or some other speakers coming in. So traditional meetings at 8 p.m., and then we have some other special meetings sprinkled in. And we do have something called Remind 101. We'll talk about this a little more during our True Info session, our first meeting, but you can text the number 810 or 81010. And that just gives you little reminders of when our Zoom meetings are. So like I said, this meeting is going to be recorded, so you can come back and see the information later if you would like. Great. So Women in Business has been founded on 4 strong pillars, which are professional development, community, mentorship, and inspiration. So professional development, we always want people to be honing in on their skills. That happens a lot during our traditional meetings. We want you to, focus in on things that you might not know and develop those skills through workshops, presentations, and group activities. For community, we want a really strong sense of togetherness for all of our girls. And that means, you see another Women in Business girl in your club, someone in your class, or always someone that is friendly that you can approach and is there to always help you. So we do, a lot of our meetings have a little bit of community sense in it, whether that's a fun Kahoot game, some sort of partner game throughout our meetings. We want to make sure that you guys get the chance to know one another, become friends, and create meaningful relationships. Our third pillar is mentorship. So we have rolled out a mentorship program last semester, and that's going to be continued to occur this upcoming semester, obviously a little differently, held online. But we want to have our older members that have gone throughout our Women in Business organization help our younger members sort of develop any skills that they may need more advice in, whether that be classes, co-op, post-grad, anything like that. So we really have structured mentorship programs to help sort of our younger members develop throughout all of those sort of needs. And then finally, inspiration. We have brought in a ton of different speakers, whether that be alumni, business leaders, other students, and we want to make sure that those people are there to inspire you to be the best version of yourself. So those are sort of the 4 general pillars that we are founded on. And it's a really awesome opportunity, and we want to make sure that all the girls meet all those 4 pillars throughout their time in Women in Business. Great. So now I'm going to quickly go through our e-board for the members that are here and that are not. So like I said, Kelsey and I are both co-presidents of Women in Business. We also have our fundraising officer, Alyssa, who's a 4th year. Hannah, I believe you're here if you want to say hi.
Hi, so my name's Hannah. I'm Officer of Treasury, and I'm a 3rd year, rising 3rd year, going into my final year. And I'm majoring in finance, and I'm double minoring in data science and global social entrepreneurship. And right now I'm doing a co-op at Scotiabank, and I'm a credit derivatives analyst there. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. And then we have our media relations officer, Ellie, as well as our external event coordinator, Audrey, internal event coordinator, Anusha, and then also our secretary, Kelsey, is on the call. If you want to introduce yourself, Kelsey.
Hey everyone, I'm the other Kelsey. and I'm a rising third year with a management concentration and a minor in graphic design. I just completed my first co-op at the Social Innovation Forum, which is a Boston-based nonprofit. And yeah, I'm super interested in social impact work. So if anyone shares that interest, feel free to reach out or just for anything.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. So you can see sort of by our e-board, we have majors all across business and people not even in business at all. So we are all here to make sure we create the most well-rounded e-board possible. And we're going to expand those sort of ideals throughout the rest of the semester, going outside the realm of the business world as well. So you do not have to be in the business school to be a member of Women in Business. And we try to sort of cover all bases of the business school as well. And then finally, we have a couple of committee members, Amelia and Emily. So those are all really awesome opportunities moving in. If you would like further into Women in Business, as you can see, we have a large e-board, so there's always opportunities. And you can come to any of us with any questions that you may have. Great. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about what to expect in this upcoming semester. So like I said, mentorship is one of our 4 pillars. And in order to sort of meet that pillar, we have an awesome mentorship program. So with that, like I said, you're paired with an older member of Women in Business, and you get sort of monthly newsletters highlighting mentor-mentee sort of meetups that you benefit from the program, and there's special events for mentors and mentees. I'm not going to go too deep into the mentorship program. That's going to be more during our first meeting of the year, but it's a really awesome opportunity if you are a first year or a second year looking for that advice. I know Kelsey and I sort of worked out this program because we were desperate for that advice during that time. And now, if you're an older member, you have the opportunity to share your sort of teachings throughout your time at Northeastern to younger members. So great opportunities on both ends for leadership and for advice. An attendance sort of program last semester, obviously with COVID, it didn't 100% come to fruition. So what this year we are going to be planning on doing is if our girls attend, I believe it's 4 Women in Business events, you're going to be eligible for a really awesome Women in Business goodie bag with some WIB gear and merchandise. So even though our events are really cool to come to anyway, it's a little added bonus that you can sort of rep the Women in Business girls if you come to a certain amount of meetings, and those are going to be tracked through an attendance code scanner, which is done by QR at the beginning and end of each meeting. Great. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about some events that we already have planned for this upcoming semester. So I think our main one that happens every fall is the Harvard Women in Business Conference. So every year, the Harvard chapter of Women in Business holds an amazing conference, bringing in incredible speakers from all around the world. Last year, the head speaker was Diane von Furstenberg. There was women from SpaceX and Tesla. I don't know if you guys watch Bon Appetit, but there was people from Bon Appetit Test Kitchen there, a ton of like women from all facets of business. And so we, through our sponsorship with Schneider Electric, are able to send select Women in Business members to this highly competitive conference each year. The conference is going to be held a little differently this year, obviously online, but we are excited to be able to send our Women in Business girls over to that conference. A really awesome opportunity to learn from amazing women around the world. Also, we have coming up a Learn to Code workshop, which we're really excited to roll out. Coding, whether that be through data science, computer science, are really popular minors and majors to pair with business. And there was a really large sort of need in the business world for a lot of our girls to learn a little bit more about the basics of coding. So we're going to be doing a sort of basic Python coding language understanding workshop coming up in the early weeks of our club. So we're really excited. And if that goes well, maybe expanding that to sort of a larger program, because that is such a need for a lot of women throughout the business world. Another really awesome workshop we're going to have coming up is a Battling Imposter Syndrome workshop, which is going to be an open discussion about how we can sort of be the best version of ourselves as women in the business world without feeling the need to sort of meet social standards and sort of manipulate ourselves to fit what is the sort of overarching standard of someone in business. So we are really super excited to be working on that workshop. And like I said, it's going to be happening in the early weeks of our club. And finally, our first executive speaker series is sort of something that we have. It's going to be Hassana Birdsong, who's a really awesome sales and marketing guru that actually our co-president Kelsey knows. And she is an awesome woman that is going to sort of tell us about her journey in business. And it's a really awesome open conversation where our girls are able to sort of ask any questions that they might have to her. So these are just a couple examples of some fun things we have throughout the semester. So you can see there's a lot of diversity in the things that we have planned. Great. And we also have a Slack channel for all of our women in business girls. And with that, there's academic, co-op, social, general. That's just an open line of communication for the entire club. So if you have any questions for maybe you have like a class coming up, you want to know a little bit more about the professor, you maybe need someone to practice interview skills with for co-op, you can throw any questions you might have in this, any of these Slack channels. And that further information is going to be in the first meeting, but this is another way that we're able to further develop that women in business community outside of any meetings we might have. And so finally, as a general overview, we're going to be having workshops, executive speakers. Hopefully this semester we'll be able to do some sort of community service activity. We had one planned for last semester. Obviously it didn't come to fruition, but we're really hoping to sort of better intertwine ourselves with the female community outside and in the city of Boston. Smart Seminar Series is something really fun and unique for women in business. Typically what these are sort of round table, what we originally called were like little coffee chats with a Northeastern alum, whether that be somebody that graduated 15 years ago or just graduated last May. And it's an open line of communication where it's a round table of our girls leading the conversation, asking them about their journey, how they chose their career path, things of that nature. So it's really fun to sort of learn from a Northeastern grad and see sort of how they were able to navigate their time at NU and then where they went afterwards. So those are really fun opportunities that we're excited for coming up. Fundraising events, we had some fun ones with like Blaze Pizza, other ones. We had ones planned for fajitas and Ritas. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition again. So we might have some like fun fundraising things. And of course, empowerment activities and opportunities for bonding. So that is pretty much the end of our sort of intro meeting, but I would love to open it up to you guys if you have any sort of questions about the Women in Business Club at all. So feel free to just sort of unmute yourselves if you have any questions. We'd be happy to answer.
I have one.
Yes.
How would you compare yourselves to Wise, I think it's another female business club?
Sorry, you cut out for me. Can you say that one more time?
Oh, yeah. How would you guys compare yourselves to Wise? I think it's another female organization for business.
That's a great question. So Wise is focused on sort of the central ideals of entrepreneurship. So that's focused around sort of like you starting up your own business, sort of those sort of ideals. Women in business, we like to cover all facets of the business school. So we have special, like with regards to Smart Seminars, we bring in special finance majors, accounting, management information systems, entrepreneurship, things like of that nature. So it's more overarching for the business school, and we're focused on sort of creating a community within ourselves of not just like single ideals. So Wise is really awesome organization that focuses on, the entrepreneurial side of business, but Women in Business is more focused on all facets of the business school. So that's sort of how we like to position ourselves. We also really like the ideas of mentorship and community. They also have similar mentorship programs, but we don't just sort of fall under the entrepreneurial side of it. If that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, also I'll just jump in real quick too. With that, you can totally be in multiple organizations. And in fact, we really encourage you to. So if entrepreneurship is something you're interested in, like we aren't going to be the best people to help you further those interests, but we're going to give you the resources for things like your first co-op interview and setting you up for things like that. So we really encourage people to kind of join our organization and also join organizations like WISE or Women in Finance, Smart Women Securities. Like there's a really great group of women's organizations in DeMoor McKim, and we encourage you to kind of join us and join them because we all do have different things, and we work together to try and make sure that our programming isn't overlapping too much. So if WISE is something you're interested in, I totally encourage you to join them, but I also encourage you to join us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you guys also combine your dual majors, like if we're half business, half something else?
Sorry, you may have cut out for me. I'm not.
I think, okay, you can tell me if I got it. It's like, it was like really fuzzy with the sound, but were you saying like, can you be a combined major and be in the club? Yeah. So you can totally be a combined major. In fact, you don't even need to be business at all. Like you could be fully engineering. Like anyone is welcome to join. And we try and kind of cover a lot of bases. So you don't need to be strictly a business major to participate and benefit.
Yeah. And for this like upcoming semester, we're really focusing on sort of being the most diverse club as we can. And that also comes with regards to inclusion of other majors, other colleges amongst Northeastern and other organizations to make sure that all of even our like non-business majors are able to, you know, have a place within the Women in Business organization as a whole.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any last questions?
Yeah, I had a question. It's kind of along like the lines of like clubs and stuff. Do you guys collaborate with any other clubs on campus, like for activities and stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, like Kelsey was saying, we really like to work with other women-oriented, women and minority-oriented clubs on campus. So we work a lot with Women in Finance. We actually had a really big event with them early last year where we brought in 2 really awesome speakers, fully catered dinner, some fun stuff like that. And then upcoming, there's a brand new organization on campus called Out in Business, which is for LGBTQ+ students within the business community that we're going to be working closely with moving forward. So we are always excited and happy to work with other organizations. Even if like you follow us on Instagram, we're always sharing other clubs. We want to make sure that everyone in the organization feels empowered. So we try to work with as many organizations as possible. Even the International Women's Council, which is brand new last semester, we worked with and are continuing to work with as well. So whenever we can, we share other organizations' information. We work with them creating a more female-centric verbiage with their clubs. So whatever we can, we do sort of try to work with other clubs, but it's mostly the other women-oriented business organizations on campus.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Okay, please feel free to cut me off if you do have any other questions. But with that, we really thank you guys for coming out to our first meeting. It wasn't super long. I hope it was like a good introduction. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out on Instagram to Kelsey, myself, any of our e-board. Like I said, this is going to be posted on Engage, and I believe our emails are on Engaged. Our like Husky or our Northeastern EDU emails. I can't call them Huskies anymore. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any clarifications that you may need. But with that is the end of our first introduction meeting. So thank you so much, ladies, for coming out. And we're really excited to get to meet you more throughout the semester. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.